Greetings to Andrea TV here from DriveOnMama.com, coming to you on a Sunday evening, the 27th of March, and we are almost to the Avenue, and it's about 6:09 p.m. We will only be working the dinner/late night shift tonight. Earlier today we had softball with the kitty kids, well, my daughter, made dinner, and now we are back to earn some money on this Sunday evening. Right now I believe it's a $2 peak pay or $3. I'll come back once I do the first order. And we're going to be doing Uber Eats and Doordash only. Instacart will not be on. So come along with us, like and subscribe, and let's make this money. You know what the dinner shift is? The best shift of the day, yeah. Okay, it is now 6:15 on the dot. Just accepted our first 3 orders. We are starting off with dirty multi-apping. We received a batched order from DoorDash going to Panera Bread and Chipotle for $14.50, 1 item for each person, and we're going to take it to the dorms. Already looked at the address, but also accepted a Popeyes for $9.83, 1.7 miles. Popeyes and Chipotle are right by each other, and the batched order for DoorDash, it's 1 address, 2 different apartments. So we're doing all 3. Let's go. We have arrived. So this is starting off to be a lucky day. As we were going into Panera, received an add-on from Uber Eats, $5.50, going to Chipotle for the second stop, also delivering to an apartment on the same block, same cross streets, and we accepted that too, 4 in 1. So we have arrived at Popeyes for the Uber Eats and Chipotle for the second order for both DoorDash and Uber Eats. Okay, time is now 7:01 p.m. All customers have their food, all apartments having to bring them to them, and we have just resumed DoorDash. After we dropped off the 2 DoorDashes at the dorms, we paused it while we delivered the Uber Eats. Uber Eats just sent us a batch order for $18.14, going 4.4 miles. That is too far in my area, so I declined it, and we are waiting on our next order. It is now 7:09 p.m. Just accepted our next 2 offers. It's Uber Eats, a batched order, Masala Indian Art Restaurant, going 4.3 miles, but it's going into Chevy Chase, Bethesda, not into further DC, so that 4.3 miles should not take as long, and we are approaching now. Okay, it's hit or miss with this restaurant. Sometimes it's ready, sometimes it's not. I'm thinking it's probably not going to be ready. One of the orders has 16 items, and it's, you know, sit down, tablecloth, glass restaurant, so those are not for sauces. And we are here. It is not too far from Panera across the street, and Masala is the red one behind me. Let's go get it. Today was a miss. 7:17. They only have 2 tables of customers, and it was a lady almost going back into the kitchen when I walked in. That's how long they were taking to come back out to service her for whatever she wanted. And then when he came out, he says, "Oh, you're gonna have to wait 2 minutes." She said, "You know what? I'll come back another day. I have something to do at home." And then after she left, I gave him another 2 minutes because he was serving the table. He brought out some food, and they said, "Oh, I didn't order this. We already got our naan." Then he takes the naan to the back, and he comes back and gives them their plates. And she was like, he must have misunderstood. I didn't want dark meat. They're not on it today. So we are back in the car waiting on our next orders. And so far, they're just sending us orders very far away. But I just accepted 1 Uber Eats, going back to Chipotle for 1.3 miles. And DoorDash is sending something now. All right, back on the road. Have the Chipotle and accepted an order I usually wouldn't take. It's $20 going to a Japanese restaurant, and it's 9.5 miles going into Silver Spring. Now I want to see, it's 13 items, and I'm really curious to know if there's a hidden tip on it or if that's the full payout. It is a $3 peak pay going on till 7:59 p.m. So that's $17. and I don't know how much. I really want to see how much the base would be on something going that far, and it's still my $2 per mile minimum that I'd like to accept, and I'm just curious. So after we drop this off, because the customer's home is off of Wisconsin Avenue, the Japanese restaurant is on Wisconsin Avenue, and then we'll be continuing on to Silver Spring, and that's what we're doing this. So we are at Yosako Japanese restaurant, and the customer's address for Uber Eats is about half a mile down this road. Let's go eat. It's always so funny to me how 13 items could be in these 2 little bags, but it's going in a hot bag. Okay, time is now 8 o'clock on the dot, and we just pulled off. And that experiment is over. It was a $7 base pay, a $3 peak pay, and then $10 as the tip. Now it says it's going to take us 23 minutes to get back into the area. This is how long it takes to get from Upper Northwest DC, Bethesda area, to Silver Spring, but we're on our way back. Hopefully we can get an order leading us closer so it's not dead miles. Okay, 8:06 p.m. and it will not be dead miles. We just picked up a $10 Kung Fu tea order going back to Upper Northwest DC. We just had to make a U-turn. We're about a quarter of a mile away. Let's go get some Kung Fu tea. And we have arrived. Treat yourself. There you have it, $22 worth of tea. Couldn't be me. Okay, we just dropped off. It is 8:35 on the dot, and it's weird. I don't know if the order going from Upper Northwest DC to Silver Spring climbed up in amounts before they sent it, because that base pay was $7, but from downtown Silver Spring back to the same area was only $4.50 peak pay. Either way, we're waiting on our next order. Time is now 8:41 p.m. Just accepted our next 2 offers from Doordash. It is $13, going a total of 1.6 miles. It's a batched order going to 2 stores, Viet chopsticks and another one. Let's go. Okay, we're in the middle of a little bit of dirty multi-apping. The 2 orders for DoorDash, $13.50, 1.6 miles in total. Before I was even able to finish or get to the first location, Uber Eats sent me a batch for $17.59, going 3.9 miles into Bethesda. Accepted that, was going to unassign the batch DoorDash, but then I saw that both orders are going to the same apartment buildings. There's a south and a west side, and I said, I'm going to do all 3. So I'm not recommending this, and there are risks, but what I did was take Nando's Peri Peri. Uber Eats was Nando's Peri Peri and Five Guys. So I picked up the Nando's because I was right there. I was right across from the gas station. Then the next pickup is Five Guys, and I didn't want the fries to get soggy. So I delivered both of the DoorDashes, picked those up and delivered them. Now I'm on my way to Five Guys, and then we'll be heading to Bethesda. But it's a batched order, and neither customer paid for that priority service. It should be okay because, again, it was a total of 1.6 miles. So we're talking maybe a 15-minute delay on their dinner. And I almost forgot, the Viet chopsticks gave me the rare $5 tip. She said, for some reason I couldn't add it on the app, but I have some cash for you. I said, oh, thank you so much. Have arrived at Five Guys. Okay, just dropped off the second order, or both orders, and accepted our next one, $11.01 for 4.7 miles. But it's picking up here in Bethesda and going back to Upper Northwest where we want to be anyway. And we're on. And also, if you're doing a batch, if you check your earnings right after you drop off the first one, you can see how much that person paid in total with Uber Eats. That first, or I should say the Five Guys burger, they tipped less than $1. It was $3.09 base pay, and the estimation for that trip was a total of $4 even. So I don't have to worry about him reducing his tip, because if he does, it's still less than $1. It's the second people, and their drop off was a hotel, so they shouldn't, because it wasn't, at home when they were. Whereas more, I'm tracking you and relaxed in my own abode. This is more of a hotel situation where they kind of expect delays, or at least I do when I go and I stay in a hotel. But we'll see. I'll let you know in an hour. Well, change of plans. The store Roti was closed. They closed at 9 o'clock, and I got there at 9:40. I could see the person's salad sitting on the table, but there was no one there to let me in. So called support, and they in a quarter mile. Now we have an $8.25 order going to McDonald's, 2.2 miles in total, and we're okay. A lot has happened since we last talked. It is now 10:19 p.m. That McDonald's for $8.25, 2.2 miles, we did not do. I thought the lobby would still be open since it was before 10 o'clock, but it was not. That was the McDonald's on River Road, and you had to go through the drive-thru. The drive-thru had no less than 10 cars. I do not wait in drive-thru lines at all. You can be doing something else. So we came back to the avenue and picked up a Wawa for $9.25. That was going a total of 3.45 miles, but we were about a half a mile from the Wawa when we got the order. So that is what we are coming back from. And I was on the phone with my brother and father. That's why I didn't record it. But we are sitting at, if they didn't remove the tip, $67 for our dinner shift on Doordash and Uber Eats. As long as they don't remove the tip, that will be 45 and change. So, you know, about $110 roundabout for the 4 hours, and it might be a little more, but I'm not going in yet. Sundays usually it dies down very quickly, but it's not dead yet. So we're gonna see if we can get a couple of more orders before midnight, and then in the day. We are at McDonald's, our first for the night, $8.75 for 1.2 miles, and there may be a hidden tip on it. $6.75 is the hidden tip indicator, and then the $2 peak pay. It's $2 peak pay, I believe, till 12 o'clock. So let's see, Okay, time is now 10:48 p.m. Just dropped off that McDonald's and accepted our next two orders. Pizza Bowlies on Doordash, $7.25, going 2.4 miles, or 2.7. And then, before we can click record, Uber Eats, $8 and change, going 2.4 miles. They're both going the same way back up Wisconsin Avenue. You have to pass McDonald's on the way. And I was talking to a driver in the McDonald's that I just picked up. He comes from Virginia. He comes from Virginia and works 3 days in a row and sleeps in his car. That is how much money you can make in the downtown DC, upper northwest Bethesda area. That is how he makes his money for the week. He was talking to another driver who indicated that he makes $5,000 a month doing the food delivery apps in this area too. Mind you, he puts in 10 to 12 hours a day, but he makes $5,000 a month. And it's his time, those 10 to 12 hours. I'm just saying, let's go get these orders. It's a good in the meantime. This is not permanent forever, but in the meantime, you can get you some. We have arrived at Pizza Bowlies. Okay, we have both of those orders dropped off, and people are funny. That first order was we have both orders dropped off, and people are funny. The DoorDash order was for the pizza at Pizza Bowlies. It's a $2 peak pay going on, and it was $6.75, I believe. Well, either way, I drop it off at the person's residence, and it has a concierge, and you can't get in unless somebody is at the desk to let you in. Now, 99% of the time, someone is there. I've delivered there many times before. Today, there was no one there, and I had the Uber Eats McDonald's in the car, and that can take forever to wait for them to come back from bathroom break or wherever it is. I attempted to call the customer, and it went to voicemail. So then I left it on the bench in between the two doors and took a picture. I said, sorry, there's no one here to let me in. And I drove off. Took a picture. The bench, I'm sure he sees it every day when he comes home or leaves and comes back. I get a text from the customer saying, where did you leave it? First they said, there's always someone there. I said, well, I ignored it. Why would I even engage that? Then he backs up with, where did you leave it? I said, on the white bench in between your two doors, right outside your locked inner door, right next to the concierge. And he didn't respond again after that. So the base pay for that was $4.25. My base pay is $2.75. He tipped $1 at 11 o'clock at night, ordering pizza. It tipped $1. So it went from $2.75 all the way up to $4.25 when I was lucky enough to get it with his pleasant attitude. Anyway, the second order also, the Uber Eats for $8.25. After I dropped it off, I checked my earnings just to see if that double Uber Eats batch, where the hotel and the one burger, if they had reduced the tip. And that was all base pay, and Uber supplemented. They tipped $0. So it is busy tonight. It took me about 4 attempts just to add this to the videos because I kept getting orders back to back to back. And all of them are for very far distances and very small money compared to the distance they want you to drive. So yeah, people are funny. And they did not reduce the tip. Actually, it increased. I will show you the screenshot in a moment. Okay, we just accepted our last offer for the evening, I believe. 1025 CVS Shop and Pay. 4 items going 2.1 miles, and the direction it's going is back towards Bethesda, and then I think I'm going to get on the highway and go home. I can't take looking at all these orders with these low amounts and people want you to bring them to their house for, yeah. This will be the last order. Let's go.
Andrea TV here from DriveOnMama.com, coming to give my totals for Sunday, March 27th. On Uber Eats, it came to $57.39. We logged on about 6 p.m. or so, ended right before midnight, so we worked 6 hours. And then for Doordash, we had 2 separate dashes. The first one being $67, started at 6:12, closed out at 10 and change. And then the last was $26.25 and ended that one at 11:57 p.m. for the grand total of $150.64 for about 6 hours of work. Like and subscribe for more and DriveOnMama.com.